The presiding establishment have him differentiated him from his fellows and from other members of the early church. Obviously, he has influential connections with the ruling elite. How else could so young a man have become the high priest Hatchetman? In his letter to the Romans, moreover, he speaks of a companion strikingly named Herodian, a name obviously associated with the reigning dynasty, and most unlikely for a fellow evangelist, and Acts refers to one of Paul's companions in Antioch as Manian, who had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch. Here again there is evidence of high-level aristocratic affiliation. Starting though the suggestion may be, it does seem at least possible that Paul was some species of Roman agent. Eisenman was led to this conclusion by the scrolls themselves, then found the references in the New Testament to support it, and indeed, if one combines and superimposes the materials found at Qumran with those in Acts, together with obscure references in Paul's letters, such a conclusion becomes a distinct possibility. But there is another possibility as well. Possibly no less startling, those last muddled and enigmatic events in Jerusalem, the nick-of-time intervention of the Romans, Paul's heavily escorted departure from the city, his sojourn in luxury at Caesarea, his mysterious and utter disappearance from the stage of history. These things find a curious echo in our own era. One is reminded of beneficiaries of the Witness Protection Program in the States. One is also reminded of the so-called supergrass phenomenon in Northern Ireland. In both cases, a member of an illicit organization dedicated to organized crime or to paramilitary terrorism is turned by the authorities. He consents to give evidence and testify. In exchange for immunity, protection, relocation, and money, like Paul, he would incur the vengeful wrath of his colleagues. Like Paul, he would be placed under seemingly disproportionate military and or police protection. Like Paul, he would be smuggled out under escort. Having cooperated with the authorities, he would then be given a new identity and together with his family resettled somewhere theoretically out of reach of his vindictive comrades. So far as the world at large was concerned, he would, like Paul, disappear. Does Paul then belong in the company of history's secret agents, of history's informers and supergrasses? These are some of the questions generated by Robert Eisenman's research, but in any case, Paul's arrival on the scene set a train of events in motion that was to prove irreversible. What began as a localized movement within the framework of existing Judaism, its influence extending no further than the Holy Land, was transformed into something of a scale and magnitude that no one at the time can have foreseen. The movement